So welcome to another Teen Thursday. Today we are going to do a little experiment to actually make our own plastic. So all you need for this is you're going to need a mug. You will want a measuring cup and some milk, some vinegar, and then optional, if you want, you can have glitter or food coloring to add to it as well. So what we are making, it is called Casein plastic, C-A-S-E-I-N, and it is a kind of plastic that was actually used starting in America in the 1900s to make buttons and jewelry. It actually was even used to make a piece of jewelry for the Queen of England, so that's kind of cool, and you can make it just using everyday materials. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a cup of milk and we're going to heat it up, and in milk it has the casein monomers, and then when we add vinegar to hot milk, it is going to change the pH in our milk and turn all those monomers into polymers, so they'll all become a big long chain and it'll turn into curds, which we'll then be able to mold, or at least that's the goal. So we're going to give it a go, and the first thing I'm going to do here is get my cup of milk. And this actually works best if you have whole milk or whipping cream or like heavy cream. I don't have either, so hopefully it'll go okay. We're gonna go with some milk here, and I'm actually gonna use just a half a cup because I don't want a whole ton of plastic. So half cup of milk. Half cup of milk. And this is gonna go right into the microwave. If you would like to heat it up on the stove, you can. My stove is really slow, so I'm not going to do that. And you just want to microwave it until it's hot enough to be what you would want when you were making hot chocolate. So 5 minutes on 50% in the microwave. If it's not hot enough after that, we'll go a little bit longer. So here we go. And since I'm only doing a half cup, it might not take the full 5 minutes, but we'll see. And while that heats up, in the meantime, we will go ahead and measure our vinegar. So go ahead, you want to grab your mug, and I have a tablespoon measurer here, and you want to do 4 tablespoons of vinegar. So alright, so right into your cup. That's all you want to do. Whew. Vinegar. Makes me want french fries. Check. Our milk is steaming. It was actually making giant bubbles in the microwave, so I'm glad I caught it before it exploded everywhere. But, so all we're going to do now is, we have our vinegar in here already, our very, very warm milk, and I'm just going to slowly, I have a spoon here, and I'm just going to slowly add all of my milk into my vinegar. And I'm just going to stir it in, and I would show you, but I'm still stirring it. It is already starting to form curds, which is exactly what we want, because those curds are what is going to be our, it's the casein. Sorry, it's the casein. So it is what is going to form our plastic. So I'm just going to stir this around a bit and let it form a lot of curds, and I'll show you. Sorry, all the white goopy disgustingness on my spoon. That's what's going to become our plastic. So that's what you want. It looks disgusting. And I won't lie, it kind of is a little stinky, but it's okay. Oh dear. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this for a bit. And then whenever there are lots of curds in there, I will spoon the curds out onto my paper towel. Now another thing I could do is I could strain it. So if you have a strainer at home, that's an option too. Strain it right into the sink, let the nasty milk vinegar that's left behind go down the sink, and you'll only be left with the curds, which is what you want. So it is not the most pleasant smell. It makes me think of dying Easter eggs, probably because of the strong vinegar, but let's see. Alright, I'm starting to get some pretty good sized curds, but I'm going to let it just sit for a little bit and think about what it wants to do. Get some nice curds. Now, another option, if you want to, after you're done spooning your curds out of the mug, you can add a little food coloring. You could add some glitter, just if you want some color to your plastic. So that's an option as well. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to spoon some of these out of here. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna hold my cup and try and drain off some of the liquid already, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the nasty curd bits onto my paper towel here so that they can drain out. And then, like I said before, look at that. I'll bring it closer so you can actually see. I'm sorry, I have terrible lighting. There you go, now you can kind of see. There are the curds, and I just dripped nasty vinegar milk all over the counter, but it's fine. That's what towels are for, right? All right, and we're just gonna keep scooping it out here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a strainer because I think that'll go a lot faster. Okay, and I have a bowl just to let the milk go in so you can actually just go ahead and see me do this. I will set my strainer in there, and we will hope that we catch most of the curd. Oh dear, I am making a huge mess. Use caution. Oh yes, that's beautiful curds. Good stuff. Go ahead and scrape out the rest of my curds. Okay, so now I will take my strained curds. I'm going to smoosh them around and let all of the liquid get out there first. And now I'm going to take these nice wet curds and put them on here with the rest of my curds. And we will get rid of that because we don't need it anymore. All right, so I will bring this closer for you to see. We now have a nice pile of curds. So what we're going to do now is that they're still pretty damp. So I'm going to grab some more paper towel, and we are going to go ahead and just get out some more of that liquid and pat them dry. And now is the time too whenever you would want to add some food coloring, so I'll go ahead and do that because why not? I'm probably going to turn my hands completely orange, but I'm not going anywhere, so no one will see it. So just a dab of food color in there, and then I will start mushing it. It is very soft yet. I think I still need to get some water out, but we'll get there. So it feels, I don't want to say like wet sand because it doesn't feel like sand. It is very wet though. And so now the thing with this is that the more that you knead it, the easier it's going to be to do. So just going to keep kneading it in my hands. And like I said, I think it's still a little too wet, so I'm going to press it between my paper towels again. Get out some more of that liquid. And let's see how that feels. Feels like, I don't know, when you make homemade Play-Doh, that's kind of what it feels like. So, but it is our very own milk plastic. I'm going to keep kneading it so that the orange kind of distributes itself. and it's still pretty wet, so let's, do I still have a dry spot on any of my towels? There's one. Get out lots of the water. So this kind of plastic was also used to make like fake ivory and stuff, so it was a cheaper way to maybe get some nice jewelry. And so it's something you can knead it into whatever shape you want. Like I said, the more you knead it, the easier it is going to be to work with, just like any other kind of dough. And then you can mold it into whatever shape you want. If you have a cookie cutter, that's a really good option to get an exact shape, or if there's some prop or something that you want. It doesn't make a whole lot. I'll move this closer. So I have, from my 1/2 cup of milk and 4 tablespoons of vinegar, I have a little ball. I would say it's a maybe not quite a tablespoon of plastic, but I'm pretty excited about this. I didn't try it before. I was kind of just hoping it would work out well, and it has. I'm pretty excited about it. I've never made plastic out of milk, and I think that's really cool. So, and it was really easy. Microwave and some milk and a spoon. But now I can mold this into whatever shape I want, and I don't know what shape I want it to be. Maybe I'll just smush it and grab a cookie cutter. And you can kind of see my orange is coming through a little bit. I probably didn't add quite enough food color into it, but you can also add glitter, and it's also an option if you would rather. You can paint it or color on it with markers after it's totally dry. Now the dry time is, you definitely want to let it sit for at least 48 hours to let it become fully dry, or it'll still be moldable like it is right now, because it's very wet. So yeah, so let's just, here, I don't know, let me grab a cookie cutter. Oddly enough, all I have is a Christmas tree, and I'm not sure if my dough will spread out enough for me to make it into a Christmas tree without it totally breaking apart. And whoever has an orange Christmas tree, I don't know. But this is actually really fun to play with. It's kind of not quite like, it's like a weird mix between Silly Putty and Play-Doh. There you have it. So I'm gonna stop so you don't keep watching me just mess around with this. But there is our plastic. We went from milk to plastic in less than 10 minutes, and that's really cool. So there you have it, some homemade plastic. So check back later. We are going to be having Teen Gaming Club at 3 o'clock today, and there will also be some more book recommendations coming up on Facebook later in the day too. And then don't forget to check back next week. I don't know what we'll be doing yet, but we'll be here.